All right, so today, guys, if you looked at the agenda, you would have already seen that our goal for this week essentially is to finish our superstition essays and finish our monkey paw work. So today we're going to go over the weekly agenda here first. I am going to pause and check your supplies, because you should have had those today. Should have had them on Friday, but we didn't really have time to check them on Friday with NWEA testing. Then we're going to talk about the essay outline that you picked up when you walked in today, and we're going to start our research and our outline today. Okay, my goal is to have us finish the outline for tomorrow. We'll see, hopefully, if everything works out like it should today, we'll get that far. If we have time, we'll continue reading Monkey's Paw, but my major concern first is for us to make sure that we get through that outline. Hi, new students?
Yes, this is Kiana. She's going to be in third period class.
Okay, third period. Sounds good. Thank you. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go over the weekly agenda here first. I need to grab a copy because I don't know what I'm doing. So you know what we're doing today. Tomorrow, we're supposed to move forward with our drafting. So if your outline is done tomorrow, it'll make it really easy. We'll get into our writing of our rough drafts for the essay. We'll continue reading Monkey's Paw. Wednesday will be a wrap-up day for your rough drafts. Thursday, we're going to do some peer review and final revision of our essays. And those will be due when? When does it say your essay, your final draft of your essay is due? Check homework on Thursday.
We have homework on Thursday?
This coming Thursday. Yeah, Henry.
11:59 p.m. on Thursday.
11:59 p.m. Yes, it'll be due on Google Classroom that night, Thursday night. Now, it's only 4 paragraphs. We've got a whole week to work on it, so you should definitely be able to finish it on time. That should not be a difficult thing to do. Friday, we will wrap up Monkey's Paw, and if you don't have any of those questions done by Friday, that will be your goals to finish them for Monday. Okay, so it's essentially just a wrap up for our writing and a wrap up for Monkey's Paw this week. Okay? Questions about anything on the weekly agenda? General questions about English class. Okay, we've had somebody on our roster for the last couple days that I've not seen. Has anyone seen Wade? Trey's not here. I know Trey's not here. He hasn't been here for like the entire school year, but there's a new guy named Wade Caudell. Has anybody heard him? Seen him? No? Okay, well, not sure where he's at, but. All right, so on your desks then, I want you guys to go ahead and get out your supplies for this class. Okay, if you brought them with you, hopefully you did. You should have some kind of binder for this class. You should also have the different color writing utensil, highlighters, hopefully you have. Does anyone not have those things? I feel like a lot of us only have like a folder right now. Yes, so I have to start recording our lessons for Google Classroom because I got a lot of kids who are dropping out for like long absences. Yeah, John?
My other supplies are my locker, my binder, and my textbook. Can I go get it real quick?
Don't worry about the textbook. I've seen your binder too, so you're all right. I know you have the binder. I've seen it.
My binder?
No, I've not seen your binder.
My binder's in my locker.
Do you want to go grab it? Why don't you bring it to English class?
Like you're a little, late. I know.
Is that where your book bag's still here?
Yeah.
How about you go run that stuff to your locker and grab your binder for me? Same thing for you, John. We need to run that stuff to your locker. We shouldn't have bags and stuff in class. All right. Thank you, ma'am. So, St. John, John's got a giant. You got a binder? No. Okay. He's got one. Over here. Robert's got one. Do you have a binder, Kayla? Mm-hmm. I feel like that's what you always say whenever you don't have something. It's at home.
It is though.
Okay. Well, why is it at home then?
I forgot.
Okay. Well, we need to be bringing it then. Zach, do you have a binder?
No.
Does your folder have 3 prongs in it? Like those three prong connectors in the middle? Okay. All right. Well, you're gonna need the binder. Probably later this week, I'll have you guys set it up so that we have the different sections that we're gonna need. So if you happen to not have stuff today, get it by the end of the week this week. On Friday, probably when we have time, I'll have you guys set those up. All right, so for the rest of the period today, we're gonna go ahead and get started with your outline of your essay. So go ahead and get that outline out that you picked up when you walked in so we can talk about it, discuss what we're doing and what we're looking for there. All right, now, last week I had you guys choose your superstition and also do some preliminary research stuff. Dylan, I don't think you were here for that, were you? Okay, so we're gonna get you started today, but that's okay. You're not that far behind. All right, so you guys chose your superstitions last week. Okay, our goal on this handout here is to start planning our essays. The major things that we really need to focus on here are finding reliable sources for our information, which we talked about last week as well. What were some of those things that we said indicate to us that a source is reliable and we can trust the information on it? What are some of those signs? Donna, what's one of them? .org. Okay, you want to avoid the .coms because those are a little bit less reliable typically. What other things do we say you could do to find reliable sources when we're doing our research? What else can you check? Oh, it's Monday morning. What else can we check for reliable sources? Yeah, Henry?
Doesn't Google have like a search engine that will look for, like newspapers about,
Yes, it's called Google Scholar. I would say that you're probably not going to find any information about superstitions on Google Scholar, so that might not necessarily be the most relevant this time. But if you are doing research for another essay at any point, Google Scholar is something you could look at. What should you probably make sure that the web page has that makes it a little more reliable?
.org, .org or .gov.
We said that already, yeah. Yes, an author. Check to make sure that they have an author listed. And if they don't have an author, look to the bottom to see if it's a sponsored website. And is somebody sponsoring its creation? Because that's going to affect its bias. Right? If you're trying to find information about the meatpacking companies, and you look at the bottom and the meatpacking companies are the one that made the website, what can you probably assume about the information on that website?
That's all I'm getting at.
It's going to make it look good, right? It's going to be biased towards them. Right, so that's something you got to keep in mind as well. Is this going to be a biased source? I don't know how that might affect your superstition research, but just in general, is it being sponsored in any way, shape, or form? Okay, and also just look at the layout of the website. Okay, if there's a bunch of misspellings on it, probably not reliable. Okay, or if it's hard to navigate, maybe not the most reliable website. So those are some things that we need to be doing as we're trying to decide whether or not a source is a reliable one. All right. So we'll start today just by doing some of that research, finding those web pages. Now, you guys should have saved the ones from last week when you did your preliminary research. Maybe as a bookmark you saved it. But now we're going to practice the citation part of it. We'll flip to the back side of your outline. Go ahead and do that, and you're looking at what I'm looking at. Dylan, pick a color. Pick a color. Red. Already on that. Okay. If you guys look, I gave you a sample MLA citation. Okay, this is where we're going to be citing our sources on the final page of our essay. Now, this is just an example. So for right now, it's probably a good idea for you to take notes on what these different sections are. So the first thing that I've got here, what do you think that probably is the very first thing on that citation? Author. Okay, so you start with author. Notice it's going to be last name first, comma, first name, period. So you'll start with your author. Then we've got the thing in quotations. Let's do 3. The thing in quotations here, how to make vegetarian chili, is in quotes and it has a period. This is the web page. Okay, so the exact page on that website that you are on. That's the very next thing. You guys should be taking notes here on this. On the back side of your outline. Okay, we're looking at the example citation. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna pluck it back. Okay, so then you got a web page. So an easy way to remember the difference between a web page and a website is to think of Wikipedia, right? If you are on the page for, I don't know, hot dogs. That is the web page. You're on the web page hot dogs. But what website are you on? In that instance. Wikipedia, okay? You're on the website Wikipedia, but you're on the web page for hot dogs. So, in this example here, your website is eHow. Okay? So the web page goes inside of the website. It's one page on that website. Kind of like the page in a book. The book is the website, the web page is just like a page in a book. All right, then we got our next part here. What is this thing called? Let's see if we know our tech terms. What is that called?
The URL.
The URL, okay, which you can find at the top of your page. It's what takes you to your website. Then we got our last thing here. Let's do some teal. It says accessed 6 July 2015. That's the day you took the info offline. Okay? The day that you copied down your information from that website. Now, you do have to write the accessed. You do have to write day, month, year, even though that looks weird, and then you end in a period. All right. I want us to practice doing this. So I'm just going to pull up a random website. See if we can do this. What should we look up? Something random. As the purchasing website, I don't want that. I want something with information. All right. Let's see if you guys, underneath that example, can cite this website. What's the very first thing we're looking for? Author. Where's my author on here? Probably not the most reliable. It says Max. That's all we have. So we don't have a last name. So all we're going to do is we're going to write Max. I'm going to do mine on the board over there so you guys can see it with the website still up. So I got Max. I'm going to write Max. What do I need to put after Max? Punctuation-wise. Period. I put period. So Max, period. Now, hopefully you have an author with a last name and a first name. You should. If not, you just put Max. All right? What's the next thing I do in quotation marks? Yeah.
The title.
Title. Okay, so A, what's the title of the webpage?
7 different types of spruce trees.
Now, pay attention to your capitalization here. It has to be the same. So 7, capital D, different types of spruce trees with pictures. Punctuation at the end, what do I need to put? Henry.
Period.
Period, and then a Quotation.
Quotation marks,
Quotation marks, yes. Okay. Next thing I have to do is my website. So Elena, what's the name of this website? Looking at this page here.
Green and vibrant.
Green and vibrant. Okay, green and vibrant. Now I don't think you can really tell very well looking at the way it's printed. That font isn't very helpful. But do you notice something about the way eHow is written on your page? It's kind of hard to see. That font's not very well suited to it. But it's italicized. So you'll want to italicize when you're typing. I'm going to try to write italicized. Green and vibrant. What do I need to do after green and vibrant? Punctuation wise? What do I put after? Comma. Then I've got to put my URL, which in this case, not that long, not too bad, so we can handwrite it. greenandvibrant.com/ green and vibrant.com / types hyphen groups.
What was your writing down?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What do I do after my URL, Donna? What's my punctuation after the URL? Period. Then I have to write the access date. So let's see if you guys remember what today is. What's today, Henry?
August 17th, 2020.
Okay, so we're gonna write access. Now we gotta go day, month, year. 17 August 2020. And Zach, what do I put after 2020? Period. That is a works cited page citation. All right, so we did another one together. Now I'm going to release you into the ether and see if you can do it by yourself without my help. You should be able to. Let's see here. Alex, pick a topic, something appropriate for school. Anything in the world. You don't want to pick anything? Help her out. Ethan, how about you? Pick something. Anything random in the world that's appropriate for school. Huh.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs. Okay. We'll pick a specific brand of hot dogs. This is a specific brand. Oscar Mayer.
Oh, that's
Oh, it's spelled wrong.
Lizzie.
All right, let's see. Maybe there's an article about Oscar Mayer hot dogs, or are they all just purchasing websites? How to cook hot dogs. My family, or my food and my family. Here we go.
Wow.
All right.
That's Lizzie. That's a nice Lizzie there.
All right. I don't know. It's a good question. I'm not seeing any author on here. Uh-oh.
I think it's biased.
Think it's biased because there's no author?
No, because
biased
it's sponsored by the same people who made
It is sponsored by Oscar Mayer. Well, if we don't have an author, what do you think you should do?
Not trust it.
Not trust it? Yeah. Find a different one.
Written straight by Joe Biden.
Just use a different topic.
No. It's probably written by Joe Biden.
Reviews. All right, let's not pick a food just because. Somebody pick an animal. Go, Aiden, go ahead.
Cow.
All right.
Cow farts. Fish. Get the get it back.
You should have done it.
You don't know about cow
Cool kid facts.
farts. Yeah. Sounds cool.
Fun cow facts for kids.
But
Looks like
Doesn't have an author. Nope, not good enough.
What about beef cattle information? NCBA.
That's not basketball.
No.
Not seeing any author.
What about the NCBA?
NCAA.
The double A.
All right, we're gonna pick a different topic.
Raccoons.
Lemurs.
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 Facts.
King Julian.
With authors.
King Julian.
King Julian.
I don't know.
Facts about lemurs.
Is there an author?
Yeah.
Oh, there's an author. Look at that. Here we go. All right. I'm gonna write it a little bit bigger for you guys so you can see it. So you can see her name here. Yep, just write it under the bottom. I'm gonna see if you guys can cite this one on your own without my input here. Now that we've practiced. Kind of hard to see. Here's her name. Alina. Alina. See if you can cite this one. If you don't spell it correctly this time, that's okay. It's not hard to see. No, I don't want notifications. Sorry, live science. Don't send me notifications. No thanks. See if we can cite this one. See if we can cite it. URL. LiveScience.com. Nope, all lowercase. /. Yep. 55, 26. Python. Yep. Lemurs. Period. HTML. All lowercase.
Wait, is there something between the lemurs and the HTML?
What's that date say?
The URL.
The date?
The date? The date is the day that you took it off the internet, so it'd be today.
Oh, okay.
The day you take it off the internet.
So,
Yep.
is there anything between lemurs and HTML?
There's a period. There's a period.
URLs, period.
Live science period. Com. / .com, yeah. / so like that. There you go. 55, 27, 6, dash, layers, .html.
How do we get console layers?
It's not gonna be the same. We get out at 9:35, so we've got 20 minutes.
We have plug time this week.
Yes, starting tomorrow, you guys will have plug time.
Oh, so we don't have it today.
You don't have today, never on Mondays.
Oh, yeah.
But Tuesday through Friday, this week we will have plug time.
So after third period, we go.
After third period, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, yeah. All
Are we
right.
going to the one that was on our schedule?
You what?
Are we going to the one that's on our schedule?
Yes, unless you hear otherwise, you're going to the one on your schedule. All right. Okay, I don't want to join life science. All right, let's see how we did here. Do I have any volunteers to come up and write it on the board for me? You don't want to do it, Zach?
I would have told you what I put, but I don't want to write it.
Okay, John, come write it up on the board for me. All right, as he's doing this, check to make sure you have the same thing. If not, probably a little wrong there. Go a little bit lower, John. Just so you don't run into the
No,
notes.
so yeah, right.
You can leave it, that's okay.
I'll just leave it.
Yeah. Alright. Sometimes it lags a little bit.
Because for me, people work fingers on.
Oh, we gotta put their name.
Yeah.
I hate writing on the page. Good.
Alright. There you go. Okay. John was really close, guys. What's the only thing he missed? Well, the names misspelled a little bit, right? But that's okay. We're not going to worry about that right now just because it's hard for you guys to see. It was supposed to be Alina, but that's fine.
I never.
But there is something else we missed, John. What was it?
On the website.
The website. So we had the web page, but then he forgot to write live
It's on
science,
the bottom.
comma.
Where? Oops. It's on the bottom.
You put the URL.
Oh.
Yeah, but you got to go web page, website, then URL. So we accidentally skipped that part. But everything else was right. We did everything else exactly the way it was supposed to be done. Okay? All right. Questions about citing information? Yeah.
I didn't see the 5527.
For the URL? You couldn't see that high? That's fine. As long as you know that after you do the web page or website, you have to do the URL, that's fine. And when you guys are typing, you can just copy and paste that. It'll be easier. Right now we're handwriting it, which makes it a little harder. All right. Here's the second part of this question. Let's see if we can answer it. Let's see if Robert knows the answer to this question. You with me, Robert? Okay. I took a quote from this website here, bud, about lemurs, because I'm writing my paper about lemurs. What do I have to put at the end of my sentence? It's called an in-text citation. Do you know what I have to put inside the in-text citation? The kids I had last year should remember doing this. At the ends of our sentences.
Yeah, but last year we did it out of a book.
We did, but it's the same information you're pulling from the website that you're going to pull for the in-text citation. Yeah, what do you think, Dawn?
Like parentheses or brackets.
Parentheses. So let's say I took a quote, blah, 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 from that website. So I'm going to put parentheses, period. What goes inside the parentheses, Zach?
The page number and,
The author.
Author last name. Yes. The parentheses and the author last name. Now, this is an online website. Is this going to have a page number? No. So if it's an online website, you just skip that part. So all I would put is Bradford at the end of my sentence where I've taken information from the website. Okay? What do you think I do if I don't have an author last name? Or a first name? Let's say there was no author listed on this website. First of all, it's probably not the most reliable, but if you used it anyway, what do you think you're gonna put inside the bracket, or the parentheses, sorry? What would be the first thing on my,
The website.
it would be the web page, yeah. So facts about lemurs is what I would put. So it's always the first thing that you see on your works cited page. That's what's gonna go in your parentheses. That's because when your reader's reading and they're like, oh, this is really interesting information, I want to see more about this source, they can look in your parentheses and go, oh, it's going to be the source that starts with facts about lemurs. And they go to your works cited page and they go, ah, facts about lemurs. That's where it's at. I can find that information. Okay? So when we start working on the essay part, we'll have to make sure we're using our in-text citations. All right. Go ahead and flip to the front side of your outline now that we've kind of practiced taking some notes there. Mine decides to load. All right, so this is a basic essay outline. Okay, very, very basic. All I'm asking you guys to do for this essay is a couple things. 2 points. The origin of your superstition. Where did it come from? Why did it start? Second thing I'm asking you to look for is its explanation, like what is the superstition and its impact today? Is it still around? Do people still do it? Or is it something that we stopped doing? Okay, so if you're looking at your introduction, we got our hook, our background information, and our thesis statement. After every piece there, it tells you what to do. Get your readers interested for our hooks. What are some ways that we can do hooks that we talked about last year? What are some hooks you can do? Yeah, Donna, what's one?
Like asking a question.
Okay, so you could ask a question. Not always the strongest one, but it works. We could ask a question. What else can we do, Henry?
Controversial statement. Controversial statement.
Controversial statement. Something that's going to get people to either really agree with you or disagree with you, and then they're going to read because they're interested. What else? You give me a description. Maybe put your reader in the shoes of someone who is going through the superstition. If you're writing about Bloody Mary, maybe put them in a situation of someone who is doing the Bloody Mary in the mirror 3 times and what that would feel like. Right? So there's a few things you could do here to get your reader interested. That is what you're going to decide. You're going to decide how am I going to get them interested, and you're going to write that hook. Then you got your background information. Just essentially, all they need to know here before they get into your thesis statement is what is your superstition? Okay, what might they have already heard about it before? Maybe they haven't heard anything, but where would it be relevant? Okay, if you're talking about a superstition that's only relevant in the UK, maybe make a mention of that so they're not like, wait, I've never heard this before.